it's Rachel here. So today we're going to make a customized LPS of J-Feather and Scourge. Alright, so step one. Today we're going to find an LPS with good body shape and good eye shape. So as you can see from up here, we have a few that have bigger eyes and tinier eyes. So the ones that are monkeys are this one and this one. So we gotta find ones with good body and eye shape like that. So I think this one's a good one. Whoops. And this one. Alright, so we got our two unsuspecting victims, and we're gonna change them from monkeys into warrior cats. So we're gonna make one into Scourge and one into J-Feather. So first we have to do is cut off their lovely little ears and their monkey paws and their crazy tails, because warrior cats don't have monkey ears or crazy legs like this, or crazy long tails that are curly. So we're gonna transform them by cutting off all those limbs. Going. Dismemberment. Ah. Dismemberment.
Chopping off all the arms and legs.
Because that one's the hardest because it's got the magnet.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can.
It's a foot. It won't go. Get out of here. Ah. Second leg off. Hello. What a horrible creature.
It's turning into a monkey worm.
Monkey worm.
And your scene just becomes littered with various body parts.
True.
Just the normal life of Rachel.
Still have one ear and one leg to go. I'm sorry, I'm doing this to make you look beautiful.
You're gonna be something better than yourself.
Could you imagine this in real life if somebody went to go get like made into something new? They had to cut off all your limbs and all your arms.
Yeah.
What a crazy plastic surgery would that be?
Alright, so do you know which one is gonna be which character yet?
Since J-Feather is a lighter color, I'm picking the lighter colored monkey.
Okay.
See, but the darker colored guy does not matter what color he
He's
is.
gonna be black. Scourge is gonna be black.
But they're all gonna look pretty black once I've burned them, so.
True. Alright, and now Scourge is getting his ears chopped off. That
Keep
came up
his
nicely.
awesome hairpiece, because that's pretty awesome.
The monkeys that do have hairs, they tend to have, that tends to translate over into the warrior cat figures.
Try. Got some ears and a tail.
He looks more like a chimpanzee without his tail on.
He can't even stand without his tail.
He looks so weird. He looks like a baby monkey. These poor monkeys, they're all getting killed. We love monkeys, don't worry, but they just make such nice cats because they have nice shaped eyes, you know? We have to save all these monkeys from massacring.
I love you, but goodbye.
You're just gonna be chopped up and suffocatedly covered in paint.
I'm sure you had to say,
And burnt alive.
Oh, no. I'm just slicing the foot in half. I don't know.
Alright, so...
Disassembled! Now they're monkey worms.
Monkey worms! Monkey worms!
Alright, for the next step, we're going to start adding the clay to the monkey worms. And this is where they actually start looking like kitty cats. So I'm going to get a glob for this ear. And I'm just going to try to shape it as it becomes an ear. And they do have these little holes in the sides of their faces, so I gotta be careful that I don't just keep pushing so much clay into the little hole in his head.
Fill their brain with clay.
Because then they get very heavy.
And then they might not stand as well.
Alright. And just start shaping it into a kitty cat ear. Not too much. Too much. And pointy. Then start trying to shape it downwards. Because the cliff hangs off kind of like that.
Yeah.
Sculpt the back of the ear. And then I need a tool. I like using little tiny screwdrivers. They're the best. Start scraping out the inside.
Really forming that cat ear.
Looks really chubby right now.
This is Scourge's ears.
Yes. And they're going to be torn, so.
Yeah.
As long as I don't make them too thick.
And he's a relatively short-haired cat, right? Because he's kind of like a Bombay kind of type of cat that's black.
Yes. He's beautiful.
So just shaving off the fatness of the clay, got a little bit too much.
And it's looking pretty good. Just need to add a little bit more details. Alright, so he's got his ear all detailed with awesome like fur texture, and then I got him some tiny little side bangs. Side
fluffs to his head. Little tufts of fur.
Alright, so now we're gonna burn him. So try not to burn it so bad, because when you burn Sculpting too much, it gets bubbles. And then it's just bubbles with not much good stuff. Actually, my clay.
So this is very dangerous. Rachel burns your fingers all the time doing this.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. Have an adult do this, or
put it in the oven for a very short time. Alright, so the reason why I don't use the oven anymore is because of Piddly Bob. I had him in there for 20 minutes on 325, and he melted into a little puddle.
It was a lamb?
You can tell he was a pretty little lamb.
He's two-dimensional now.
He looks like a brain. I think this is all the plastic that was his neck and the inside of his head gooed out into this crazy gelatinous barf bubble.
Yep.
There's his little magnet. And his eyes are, you can see the color of his eyes so brightly. But it's very dangerous because he could have caught on fire, he could have
burned down the
exploded.
house.
So many bad things could have happened, but never leave anything in the oven too long or unless you know that it's not going to melt. So I use lighters because I can control the flames and I can turn it off when I want to. So just be careful, guys. Alright, so next step we're going to work on the muzzle of this little guy. So we get a ball of clay and we're going to smush it on his face. So just to say, there are ways of making a good muzzle and ways of making a bad muzzle.
Turn him sideways.
His muzzle, it sticks out way too far. Way too far, Dark Stripe. So, yes, he's got this super long jaw. It is just too crazy. So, I'm going to try to make him a little petite little muzzle so he doesn't look like a dog.
So I have a cute one like Tiger Claw, because Tiger Claw has one of the best muzzles, I think.
Oh yes, for sure. Alright, so we're going to start by making sure that we make it go up and then go down around his chin, if you can see that. And then make sure that we don't get it in his eyes, because that would be horrible. And you want little screwdrivers. Scrape it out. Oh no, it's in your eyes. I'm blind. But wait, you're not Jay Feather.
You're not Jay Feather, he's supposed to be the one that's blind in this video.
Okay, scraping it all off. Usually I go by their normal nose. So just to the point in the face where there is a normal nose.
Yep.
And then just kind of round it down. Still so much clay. It's too big of a piece. Just scraping, trying to get the right shape. And it's almost there.
You gotta blend it upwards.
So much in his eye. I know. And I just really opened a new pack of clay, so it's super, super sticky. Usually I let my clay dry out for a few days, but I didn't get the luxury today. So it's super gooey and stuff. Sculpting is a very temperamental kind of clay. Some days it's nice, some days it's crazy.
So like some people think that you use air dry clay. What's the difference between sculpting and air dry clay?
Air dry clay is something you don't need to cook at all, but there's lots of defaults with air dry clay because you gotta know how to package it and you gotta know how to dry it. Some people just think you just throw it out there and you let it dry. But if you don't want it to be cracking and making a horrible mess all the time, then you really need to make sure you wet it and then let it dry a little bit and then wet it and then let it dry a little bit. It's a very long process.
So why do you prefer sculpting?
Because I can just do it so fast and it doesn't take a long time.
Because these customs already take long enough to dry and paint and other things.
Yes. I did like a centaur once and she kept cracking because I didn't know how to use air dry clay at the time and she just turned out to be a disaster. But with Sculpting, it's very flexible, so it won't ever crack on you, unless you drop it, of course. But yeah, so that's why I use this kind of clay. But as you can see, it's just making a goop spot on my hand.
It's very goopy.
One of the things I hate the most about Sculpting is if you don't want it to be just in a giant package and you try to put it somewhere in a different container, sometimes it gets rebellious and it eats plastic. So I did like a container over there of some Sculpting that ate through the package I put it in and just turned into a giant pile of goop.
Wow.
So you've got to make sure you put Sculpting on something that's glass or a special kind of plastic.
So coming over here, looks like you're trying to like start forming like a little nose.
Yes. So I got my X-Acto blade.
Forming the little triangle in his mouth.
And
The little details that go on with the muzzle.
got 2 fat lips. Bend them in a little bit. There we go.
Excess clay.
Hunchy nose. Too boxy. There we go. Whoa. And scrape with the sides. Needs to be more pointy. Boom, 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 boom.
So doing the muzzle, burning it on, she finished all the intricate details of the muzzle.
It's crazy how fast it catches.
Yeah, it's so much faster than the oven, so that's the real best thing for it. And you can really control where you burn. Because if you're going to do the oven, you have to do it step by step in the oven because you have to hold on to certain parts of the LPS to do these things. So.
Smoking.
Scourge is a smoking hot man.
Oh, yes.
So, what'd you do?
So we added some bangs, some emo bangs.
Some little punk
bangs. So now he looks pretty good. His face is coming together, man. So now we're going to work on his torso. So I got a clump of clay, and I'm going to
mend that onto the little monkey worm extension of his body.
So
Make him a nice torso, middle part of his body.
Gotta make sure his neck isn't too fat.
So this is what we do to make sure that they keep being a bobblehead.
Bubble.
Because that's important for like lines and speaking and just being cool.
I'm gonna give him kind of a figure in the boot.
You have a nice booty to go into the
Probably
legs.
pretty skinny because he is a
Feral kitty.
rogue kitty.
Living on the streets.
We're gonna try to give him a bod like this guy. This guy's got a nice body. Like skinny.
Yeah, skinny, but not quite the kind of tail that he has.
Oh no, of course not.
Okay.
All right. And I probably need to. I never broke it up this baby.
These guys are pretty fragile.
Just the pointy bits.
Pointy bits until it works. Burning the pointy bits kind of like makes them more fragile. So if you guys buy them and like tiny bits break off, super glue works fine to fix them.
Super glue works best.
You just reattach the little bits that fall off if anything ever falls off. But they are pretty durable.
Yep. Usually if it breaks off in a total piece, you can just try to find the line that exactly broke off with, and you want to be able to tell the difference. So
yep.
This cat's got the kind of like hunchback in the booty. All right. There we go.
Yep. So do you burn the middle part or do you wait till legs are on?
No, gotta burn it now or else the legs won't have a sturdy structure to hold on to. Alright.
It's important to know how long this is to tell how long apart the legs will be from each other.
Oh yeah.
Is he gonna have a fluffy tuffy part on the beginning of his face and his chest?
Probably not.
He's short hair.
Alright, so now I've added a little bit of texture to his little chest. So now I'm gonna burn him. Burn your worm body. And I try to get it as charred as I can so that I can morph it back later when I'm sanding it, but you don't want a frame that's half cooked.
Because that would be really bad.
So just break in half. Break his little back.
It needs to be cooked like all the way through. And the intense heat of the lighter really helps do that. He's just smoking. He's a smoking hot Tom. That Scourge he is. Ow. Yep, blacken that little charred bod.
Does this smoke look really cool?
Yeah, it is.
Alright, so now we basically made him all the way. He looks pretty good. Now we just gotta add some legs. Alright, so we got this long stretch of clay. I'm going to start by getting a piece and making it look like a paw. Yeah. You see that?
I see that.
And then I assume that's a good size for the legs, so I'm gonna rip that off. And then I'm gonna stick it on him. So, maybe a bit too tall, but ooh, good little stringy. So he's got a buff shoulder and a paw. Yep. So, once I get the other paw done, then I will burn that, and then we start on the back feet.
Yep, so that's how you make front feet.
Alright, so next up, we're going to take this piece of clay, and we're going to make it into a foot. So, cats have very strange feet, as you can tell. So you take the tippy toes, make like the first paw, then you're going to take the back leg, and then you're going to make kind of a bend right there, and then I'm going to loop it around like that. I might need to shrink this down just a tiny bit, but basically that's the paw, this is his little steep foot, and then it's gonna bend. Alright. Get on there. See? Like so.
Then you just gotta make sure it's level with the other feet and the right size, right?
Right.
So, because if his feet are unlevel, then he's not gonna be able to stand.
Alright, so I've already rolled out a tail that I've chosen for him. He's got like a skinny little one. And so now all I have to do is just find the right position for it. And get it all in there.
He's kind of gonna have like a down into the side tail.
Kind of swoopy. Maybe like that?
Yeah.
Alright, and then just gotta make sure it's morphed in there pretty good.
And then burn. So just burning it down.
The crack. Ooh, it's even super low.
That's crazy. Really cook that tail on there.
And then the next step is to get my super glue and just let it run all over it.
Make sure it really goes into there.
Just gotta be careful of the fumes because that stuff will burn your eyes. Super glue is really hard, so it forms a little coat over the top.
But it makes it less likely to break off. So yeah, super glue covering. Have you done that over every single thing that you've burned so far?
Yes. Especially the hair, because the hair is so fragile.
Yes.
And it's always breaking. Alright, so next we need to sandpaper all the rough spots on him. And trust me, there are lots of rough spots. So like these super charred spots like on his arms and on his back right
They're like
here.
fingerprints that might have been in the clay.
I try to get rid of them, but sometimes they're quite visible, but he's gonna be pretty black, so.
This is a newer step, like we didn't do this for Blue Star and stuff, because he started getting comments like people were like, oh, they're so rough, right?
Yep.
So this really makes them a lot smoother and less bumpy and stuff. Because the paint doesn't hide much.
Alright, next step, we're going to paint this little Scourge. And so I got these brand new paintbrushes that I haven't had a chance to use, and I'm going to use this one. So, basically, his base color is going to be black. So, I got this beautiful black paint, tar,
And the black tar.
Just start schmooping it all over him. I just try to get it as thickly glued as I can.
And you go right over the eyeballs.
Gotta be careful when you're going in the deep spots, because you don't want to make just little... Because sometimes the paint can just make crazy... It fills in the holes, basically. So you gotta be a little bit careful with the finer details. Like his smile. But just basically glooping it all on.
For the first coat, and then kind of going back through and making sure.
Making sure I get the little tiny inner creases. But right now, it's just gloop it on.
Yep, so paint him completely black as his base coat.
Yep.
Whoa. What do you have balanced on your finger, Rachel?
Just kidding, it's glued there. I'm super glued to it. Let go of me, J Feather! Ah! Yeah, he's got a part of me inside of him now. My skin. Alright, so J Feather, I'm working on his muzzle, and I've done his glorious little hairs. And then next is his body, and then his legs and tail. I believe it's his right paw that is the white one, from all the artwork that I've seen. So I'm going to make it look like it kind of transitioned from the black. So we got his beautiful little white paw. Isn't it adorable? So I'm also going to make him some little clay nails to be sticking out of there, to look all sharp and ferocious. And then he's gonna have his beautiful eyes next. So, there we go.
Alright, so this is Scourge, all finished. So it got late and Rachel wasn't able to finish making the intricate process video, but she added little claws on him, finished up his feet, made a little cloth collar that's purple. I know it's debated whether it's purple or red, but I think purple looks cooler. And she added little clay teeth to it, and claws and everything. And yeah, so he has some broken up ears, and he looks really, really cool. He's got a scar on his back leg, and he's got the really cool feet that have really cute little things on them. But they're scary, very scary, because he is Scourge, the scariest man. So yeah, this is Scourge, with his awesome hair, his awesome feet, awesome necklace, collar thing. It looks awesome. So the bidding for him down below in the description. It's only going to be lasting for 24 hours, so go and bid if you want to possibly win the auction and get yourself a Scourge. Alright, so Rachel finished the customs last night, and so here we have J Feather. So J Feather has his beautiful blind eyes and his stripes and his beautiful grayness. And here we have his beautiful stick. So we have the full shipping of J Feather and his OTP stick. They're the best couple, of course. So yeah, J Feather, bobbly head, cute pink ears. Everything you'd ever want about a J Feather is right here. And he's got feet. So yeah, that's J Feather. The bidding for him down below will be in the description, and you guys can start bidding. It'll only be open for 24 hours. And this is stick. His beautiful stick with the little markings on it of the claw marks stuff. Yeah, so that's J Feather. So thanks so much for joining us on this very intricate how to do these cats. So where Rachel left off about doing the paws and stuff, afterwards you would paint the eyes white, then add the black, then add the color, then add the white to the pupils. And then it'd just be like finishing up the face, final details, painting, and making sure you have all the right stripes and stuff. Like a lighter mark for this stripe, and then add the darker stripes on top of that, lighter by the chest. So yeah, thanks so much for joining us on this very, very fun video. I know it's kind of long, but I hope you guys really enjoyed it. So, if you want to possibly buy one of these customs, this will only be lasting for 24 hours after the uploading of this video. So go down below on eBay, there will be a link to go and bid on these beautiful creations. And this is our Christmas present to you guys. We love you so much. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye-bye!